So you are thinking about getting your own little furry friend for your studio apartment. When I first moved into my studio, I had told myself I was not getting a dog while living in a studio apartment. It was too small, I wasn't home enough, it just seemed really unrealistic to me. Then one day, the love of my whole entire life fell into my lap and I got a dog in a studio apartment. And I realized it's not about how much space you have for your dog. If you have something like a husky or a German shepherd or a bigger dog that has a lot of energy, yes, that dog does need more space. They need more space to roam around. But if you have just a little guy like Louie who's 10 pounds, space really isn't the issue. It really comes down to, are you able to give your dog the exercise it needs? So can you take your dog on walks? Do you have enough space to be able to have everything that your dog will need? But that's it. When I first got him in a studio, I was working a full-time job and I was lucky enough that I was able to go home on my lunch and let him out. So he was able to go out still like 4 times a day, but that's not the case for everyone. There are options where you can get like a dog walker who can come let your dog out in the middle of the day, or some people are lucky enough to bring their dogs to work. But for me now, I work from home. So I'm home with him all day, every day, and it's been really nice and just like being able to hang out with my little best friend whenever I want. But with that, there are things that a dog needs that you'll have to think about when you're considering getting a dog in a studio. Studios are small, especially I live in a small studio with my dog and my boyfriend, and you have to keep in mind that that's just more stuff you're going to have to store. When you're keeping track of every single thing you bring into your studio, because yours is small and you have to organize it well, you will have to consider where are you going to put the stuff for your dog. So I'm just gonna take you through the 6 things that you'll need to get a dog and where are some good ideas of where to put them in a studio apartment. So the first thing I'm gonna point out, and it's not in any order of importance, is dog toys. You might think that you're not going to have that many dog toys. You'll end up having a lot of dog toys. Honestly, I think I've bought maybe a total of 4 or 5 of the dog toys in here, and everything else has been given to me. When you have a dog that you love so much, people just want to give you toys all the time. So many things, and he plays with them all, so it's not like you can get rid of them. But dog toys are great, especially if you are gone for parts of the day. It'll be something to keep him entertained. My dog loves playing fetch, so this is really fun to have in the apartment. It can let him run around so he can get exercise. You're gonna have dog toys. I just suggest get something that looks cute and something that can hold them all so they have a place to go, and have it so that way it's at the right height that your dog can get toys out of it. So I just have this cute little basket on the ground. This holds all of his toys and he's able to come around and grab his toys out of them as he pleases. One day I'll teach him to put them away, but until then I just go around every morning and I pick up the dog toys laying around and throw them back in the basket, and he'll just pick them back out as he wants to. The next thing you'll need is a leash. So obviously you're gonna have to take your dog out. You don't have a backyard in a studio, so you'll need a leash so that way you can take him on walks every day. I just got this cute little hanging basket thing that hangs next to our front door, and on it we keep all the dog leashes. So I actually have a couple dog leashes right now because we are watching dog, but all the dog leashes just live right here, so that way I can just grab it, put it on the dogs, take them out, and then put it back away. And I like it here because it's kind of hidden in with the plant, so you don't really notice. This isn't really a must-have, but I keep a jar of treats right next to the door, so whenever we go out and he goes potty right away, I'll come in and I'll just give him a treat, so that way I reward him, so that way he knows if he goes potty very quickly, he gets a treat. You also are gonna need to get your dog food and water bowls. Food and water bowls can be crazy expensive. Even if you go to Walmart and just get your standard little silver tin ones, I think those are even like $4 or $5 each, which blows my mind because it's a bowl and it just doesn't need to be that expensive. I went to the Dollar Tree and I found Louie's dog bowls for $1, and I think they're super cute. They're really sturdy. I like that he can't knock them around, but I just keep his food and water bowls right here. They just have this little design on them, and I thought they were nice and easy, and I liked them a lot for being $1. So those live on the floor next to our kitchen sink, and they're kind of just out of the way. We don't really ever kick them or anything there, and he knows where they are. And this is perfect because the other thing you're gonna need to go with that is dog food. So I just have this container of dog food that I keep right here, and it has a little scoop in it, so I can just scoop in his breakfast every day into his dog bowl right there, and it's just out of sight, out of mind. I like keeping his food in this container because it's less messy than having like a full bag. But with that, when living in a studio, you have to buy your dog food in smaller quantities because you won't have the space to be able to store one of those really big dog food bags. So it is a little bit more expensive. So this next one doesn't apply to everyone, but it does apply to me living in Chicago, and it also did apply to me living when I was in Arizona. So under my bed right here, I just keep this basket, and inside this basket, sorry the lighting is all crazy, I keep Louie's winter coat because it snows in Chicago and homie needs a coat. I also keep his brushes. This applies to probably just about everyone. You gotta brush your dog. Louis gets really mad at if I don't brush him, so gotta keep a brush in here. Also, like how I said that I have bought Louis super few toys, I've also bought Louis super few outfits, and everyone just gives him outfits. So he's got all these little sweaters and things he can wear. This one I actually do put on him pretty often when it's cold out, because this is just like a little fleece and it helps keep him warm because he will get a little chilly. He's only 10 pounds. But he also does need booties, and it's so sad, and he looks like a baby deer wearing them, but they put salt on the ground in Chicago when it's cold out, and so if he wants to go on walks, it'll tear up his little paws, so he's gotta wear these little booties. Living in Arizona too though, dogs have to wear booties if you're taking them on a walk in the summertime, because when it's 120 degrees outside, and yes, it gets to be 120 degrees, you gotta put boots on their feet or their paws will burn. Also in this box, I just keep extra poop bags, so that way I can refill his thing on his leash, as well as this folder where I keep all of his medical records, so that way I know if I need them, they're right here. I keep all these documents online, but I keep the hard copies as well, just in case. You never know what happens. The last thing I'm gonna say that these little pupperoos need, if you would have asked me when I first got Louis, I would have told you absolutely not. You do not need one of these, but I ended up getting him one, and I do actually think all dogs should have one. So I got him a dog bed, and when I first moved into my studio and I first had Louis, I didn't want to get him a dog bed because he slept on my bed, he'd sleep on the couch. It just didn't seem necessary. He had all of these other places he could go, but I realized it seems like he didn't have a place that felt like it was his spot. So I did get him a dog bed. I just got one from Ross. It was like $10. He likes them when they're hidden, so I keep them like underneath a table or under the bed or like somewhere where it's more tucked away, and then he has like a little spot that he can hide and go into and feel comfortable. So in my apartment, I don't have a ton of space to dedicate to him having full crate or corner or anything, and so what I've done is I got this little side table. I actually got this from the trash. Someone was throwing it away, and this is his dog bed. He's had this forever. Like, there's holes in the bottom of it, but he loves it so much, and so I just keep that back there, and it's tucked out of the way, and he loves climbing in there. Some nights he'll sleep in there instead of going in the bed with us too, which is so funny to me, but I think it's important for them to have their own little space. So that's it, guys. That's everything I feel like you need to be able to have a dog in a studio. You gotta just get a little bit more creative with storage and how you're gonna keep all your things, but getting Louis was the best decision of my entire life. I love him so much, and I wouldn't trade you for the whole world, bud. So if you have any questions about anything I talked about in this video, please comment down below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I love seeing what you guys are into and what kind of videos you want me to make, and if you haven't already, definitely hit that big red subscribe button and follow along. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.